Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Welcome to the show. Excited to talk to our friend Farah Gaston, who's in real estate development, and it's amazing the work she does, what she's doing to homes all around the Florida area. Now, I know you're out of Lakeland, but just curious, what areas are you working in, Farah, doing this with their homes?
I mostly work in Central Florida. I go as far as Orlando and then as far as Tampa, St. Pete area.
Beautiful. Well, it's amazing what you do, and I wish I had that type of talent to really help, get those homes that are maybe undesirable and fix them up and remodel them. It's amazing the work you're doing. So let me ask you to tell everyone how we can reach out to you if you don't want to share a website, phone number, anything of the sort. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. My telephone number is 863-450-5914, or you can link up with me on Instagram at Farah Gaston Official.
Beautiful. So it's called JF Designer Homes. I know that's the name of the company. We're going to talk about how you find these homes, how you buy them, how you fix them. But before that, I honestly like to get to know you, and I think our listeners can really benefit from that. So give us a little overview. Tell us about where you're from, where you're born, and what led you down this path of getting into real estate development.
Oh my gosh. All right. So I guess we'll start at the beginning. I was originally born in Haiti.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my parents moved here about 31 years ago. We actually were in New York for a couple of years, but the code was just not doing well with us. So we moved to Florida and have been here now for 24 years this year. We moved right before 9/11. So that was crazy. But I went to a real estate conference, and this was in 2013, I believe. I met my late husband, and he started teaching me how to do it. And I'm like, oh, this is fun. So I started wholesaling. Wholesaling is basically not like residential redevelopment where we don't buy the house and fix it and sell it. We literally just sell the paper to someone else. Like you, Ms. Jill, if you have a house that you want to sell and Johnny down the street, who's another investor, does not know you have the house, but I have the link with you. I say, hey, Johnny, Jill has a house. She wants to sell it for $100,000. And I buy it for 90. And at closing, at the title company, I get $10,000, you get $90,000. And John has a house, let's say, is worth about $200,000, and he needs about $50,000 worth of work. And he has the house without having to pay for marketing, without having to dig up and find the house. Because let's say John, he does this part-time and he doesn't want to deal with sellers, because sellers are wonderful, but some of them, they can be 100% emotionally attached to the home, which makes sense because some of them lived there, they grew up there, they've had family there, and it's kind of it's a soft spot for them to sell it, but they need to. So it's kind of where I get in the middle of it. I help you, or I help Jason or Jackie and deal with all the issues that they might have with the home, crazy tenants, unfortunately a death in the family. If they did get it through if they have it through probate, it was inherited to them. Or let's say the house just needs so much work and nobody wants to deal with it. Jill's like, hey, I don't have time to spend $50,000 in this house. I don't even have the money. So I'll just sell it, get what I can get out of it, and let it be somebody else's problem. So that's where I come in.
Wow. So, oh my goodness, this is amazing. And, my apologies go out to you and for losing your late husband. And
Thank you.
But I did read that you credit him with, was this the business he was in, or he was just good at it?
He was really, really good at it. Funny story about him. He was the calmest, coolest person ever. Super, super introvert. He barely liked to talk to anybody. That's what his mother said.
Wow.
And then I'm like, how is he doing real estate when he has to talk to people?
And then he meets you and it's like, she's everything opposite me. Opposites attract, right?
And you know what he did? He literally pushed everything towards me. He's like, you do this, you do that. I'll do all the marketing. You handle talking to everybody. You handle the contractors, the sellers, the buyers, the real estate agents, the title company, the lender. He's like, I don't want to have to do with anybody. You're perfect for it. You're talkative. You're outgoing. So he was kind of in the shadows while I was doing all the talking. So he loved it. And honestly, he was just literally the calm to my storm because like my hair, I'm a firecracker.
I love it. I love it. Like Katy Perry, right?
Yes, exactly. So he saved me from committing murder, I guess you could say.
Got it. Oh my goodness. Farah Gaston, by the way, if you are just tuning in and listening, we're excited to be speaking with her here. She's going to teach us today a little bit about the process of how she's finding homes, how she buys them, how she fixes them up. And as a real estate developer, this is fascinating work. Again, if you're just tuning in, she's in Central Florida. She's in Lakeland personally, but it's JF Designer Homes, and she could be of so much service to you. So great getting to know you so far. And now let's
Thank
talk a little
you.
bit about the process. Yeah. So, how do you find the homes? And specifically, tell me what type of homes are you looking for?
Okay, very good question. So the way we find the homes, it can be any way. It could be referrals. 75% of our business is actually through referrals. Someone who knows someone who's selling a home, someone who knows someone who has a fire damage home and doesn't want to deal with it. And what we do is we meet up with the seller, we run the numbers, we see, hey, listen, we can buy the home for, let's say for simple numbers, the house is worth $400,000 and it needs $100,000 worth of work. What we do is we can buy that home for up to $200,000, fix it up for the 100,000, and we have a spread of 100,000. But of course, that's before closing costs, holding costs, and everything else. But for even numbers, let's just say 100, 200, 400. So we go ahead and we meet up with the seller. We go ahead and assess the repairs. We see how much the home needs. We put it under contract. We close at title company to make sure that we're protective because we're protected, I should say, just in case not even the seller was lying, saying they don't have a mortgage or they don't have any liens. Sometimes they actually might not even know. Let's say, God forbid, like this example, we had a seller, she was divorced and her husband had a lien on him from the IRS, and that lien was stuck to the home. So title was able to find it. We were able to contact the IRS and say, hey, listen, in the divorce, she got the home. So that is not her burden anymore. That's his burden. So we had to talk to the IRS, get that lien removed, put it wherever it needs to be, so that way she could sell the home, because IRS liens, unfortunately, they stick for a very long time, up to 30 years. So you can't get around that unless you talk to them. And so we're able to do that, and we're able to buy the home from her, and we're able to close. She got what she wanted. We got what we needed out of it. We fixed it and we sold it to the next buyer. So that's typically how we found the home. And how we fix it is we have our contractors, our handymans. They come in, they do all the work. So all the beauty you see, I have the vision for it, but unfortunately, I do not have the hand to actually make it look that beautiful. So I
I
give
know.
100.
I wish I could too. Oh my!
I wish.
I know. Imagine having a handyman in your life. Look, I'm a single woman. I got two little kids and bought my own house. Thank goodness it was redone by someone, but it was like 25 years old, but still like
Oh,
basically done.
goodness.
But this guy bought the house because there was a leak in it. So it was moldy and no one
Oh,
wanted the headache, right? So he bought it.
oh,
He not only bought it, he fixed it up and then sold it, made a profit. So he was able to do it all himself. Like, I just dream about
wow.
being handy, and I look around the house and I'm like, oh, I wish I could put a molding up. I wish I could hang a picture. Like I can't do anything. I'm just not. I'm not, blessed in that sense. My mother was like a man. She was able to do plumbing and do all this stuff. I didn't get
Wow.
that talent, but all
Me
right,
neither.
we
I just
all.
have the vision. Like, I wanted this color, I wanted to look like this, but
You
to
got
touch
the
it, I'm like,
vision, you
no.
got the smarts, you got the personality, you got so yeah, right? We all have our gifts, right?
Yes, that's correct. As my teacher used to say, she's like, you can literally sell water to an Eskimo or ice to an Eskimo or something like that,
That's
because she's like, you
great.
can talk her out of everything.
I love that. Now hold on. Now, that makes sense. How do you own the home? How do you buy the home? I'm sorry. Like, are you a millionaire to have all this cash laying around, or no? How does it work?
I
Because
wish.
I know. I'm assuming there's a process, right? Go ahead. How does this work?
Yes, yes. I absolutely wish I was a millionaire, billionaire that I could just buy with my own cash, but I'm not there yet. One day, someday. Typically, we use other people's money, OPM. We have partners that lend us money to be able to, let's say, get into the down payment, because we have lenders whose sole purpose is to lend to buy ugly houses, fix them, and sell them. So, of course, they make their money that way. But guess what? You need down payment, you need closing costs, you need holding costs, all that interest. You have to, of course, pay for utilities while the house is being fixed. You have to get the yard mowed while the house is being fixed, because if not, code enforcement is going to be on you. So what we typically have, we have partners. They lend us for a profit, either profit share of the home being sold, or they say, listen, I don't care about the profit share. I just want, hey, here's $50,000. I want 20, I want 15% return on that $50,000 in 5 months, 6 months, or a year. So that's the way that we're able to buy the properties. But I wish I had my own money. I'd save so much, but because those interest payments, they went from 8% 5, 10 years ago. Now it's like 14, 15% interest only payments. And that does not go towards the principal. So you get a $200,000 home and you're in it for 6 months. That $1,500 a month goes towards nothing. When you sell the home, you still owe $200,000.
Oh my God,
So,
this is scaring,
but
scaring me.
it's it's not scary at all, because the profit, of course, handles all of that, and they help us, because traditional banks, they would never lend on a house that needs a roof, that has
No.
fire damage. Never. So they help us
No.
help them. So it's kind of it's a necessary evil.
Oh, are you there?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
here.
you
Can you hear
froze.
me?
Our necessary evil, and then it looks like you
Oh,
froze. So I was like, oh no, I don't want to have
oh,
these type of issues, but it's
yeah.
possible. All right, good, good,
No, no,
good.
no. I was just saying, yeah, it's a necessary evil. We need them. They need us. So it's the, the left hand feeds the right hand kind of deal.
And what do you say is the most challenging part of your job?
The most challenging part, honestly, it's a little bit of everything, because everything has their own challenge. Because I can meet a seller who's gung ho on selling, and I put the house in the contract. A couple of days before closing, they ghost, and I have to chase after them, and it's kind of a pain in the neck, because I know they need to sell, but at the same time, I don't want to be too pushy. But I'm like, listen, I have my earnest money deposit at title company. If we don't close and this lender wants to close, I look bad in both ways. So I don't want to do that. So that's the number one. Definitely getting hold of the seller if they kind of get a little bit scared or they get too emotional to the home. And
Mm,
then number two, of course, is contractors, because some of them are amazing when they're amazing, but some of them, they start doing, I hate to say it, excuse my French, but they start doing crappy work, and you have to chase after them because they did two houses that were amazing. They finished the property on time, everything is great. And now all of a sudden, the third project, hey, this is a 4 week project and we're in week 3 and you're halfway done and we're nowhere near finish. And this is frustrating. So I think those two are the toughest part,
mm-hmm.
honestly, because the rest is just wonderful. Being able to sell the home to someone who's like, hey, the house is exactly what I needed, or the house, what we typically do is we offer closing cost assistance, down payment assistance to the buyer to help them to get the home, and for us to be able to sell the house real quickly too, because most people, they don't have 20%, or they don't have
Mm-hmm.
the and down plus closing costs. So that kind of holds them from able to the home. But we're like, hey, listen, we'll give you up to 6% towards your closing costs. We'll pay for your realtor's fee. That's big right now, because a lot of sellers, they think they do not have to pay a realtor. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. You need to pay your realtors, because if you don't, then how are you going to sell the home unless you want to list it,
Yep.
do open house yourself? So you have to pay these people, and it's not fair to try to undercut them. So if we're buying the home and the seller does not
Yep.
want to pay for the realtor's cost, I'm like, whatever, I'll pay for it. Or if we're selling the home and the buyer cannot afford to pay for the realtor's cost, we got you. We'll go ahead and pay for it, just to help you buy the home, just to help us sell the home, and we can go on to the next home to help another family.
Wow. And let me just ask, I mean, when you say homes, are we talking also condos, co-ops, or is it strictly freestanding homes? How do
No,
we?
no. All of it. We've done condos, we've done townhomes, we've done mobile homes. As long as it's a piece of property that can be fixed, sold, we do them. We do all of them. The next big thing that I do want to get into, our company wants to do, is of course multifamily, I can't think of the word now for whatever reason, apartment complexes, and of course office buildings, commercial. Those are the next steps, but for right now we do single family home, mobile homes, condos, townhomes, all of it, you name it. The only thing we haven't done is vehicles.
Yet,
Yeah,
right? Ah!
that's true. That's true.
Awesome. Well, let's just remind everyone at this time how we can reach out to you. Could you share your Instagram again? Share your phone number
Sure, absolutely. Farah Gaston.
and
My
spell it,
telephone
by the
number is
way.
eight.
Spell it for
Oh,
everyone.
sure. Yes, so it's like Farrah Fawcett, but with one R. F as in Frank, A as in Apple, R as in Roger, A as in Apple, H as in Henry, and last name is Gaston, like the jerk from Beauty and the Beast. G for go, A for Apple, S for Sam, T for Tom, O for open, N for Nancy. So you can reach me at 863-450-5914 or Farrah Gaston Official on Instagram.
I love it. Okay, so as you said that, I'm just letting you know because I didn't know your Instagram until we started the show. I went on,
Oh, it's
and
okay.
it's so funny because the first thing when you Google it, it said, well, I don't know where it is now, but it's something like you're fierce, you're whatever. The title of your Instagram page, if I can get on it, but oh, here it is. I got it. Here it is. I'm high energy, no holds barred, hard nosed, and real estate investor that will unapologetically tell it like it is, and will hold on. There's more. Also encourage and inspire you. Do you have kids, sweetheart?
I have three bonus children.
Oh my God, I'm seeing a kid on your Instagram. Tell me.
Oh, that's Noah. He's the eldest. He just turned 6 in November. And then I have a set of twins, Ezra and Eris. They'll be 4 in a couple of days, and they're just excited. They help me not I guess they test my patience. No one tells you that kids will test your patience, but they do. And I absolutely love them. I can't imagine life without them because they're just the most wonderful, obnoxious kids ever.
Oh
So
my
they're my
goodness.
boyfriend's children. We've been together for a couple of years now, and I've been helping raise them 50-50
Oh,
with him and his ex. So yeah, so they're amazing. They
beautiful.
definitely keep me going. Yeah, they're
Oh,
sweet. They're obnoxious, but sweet. You said you
I
have two of your own?
Mine are, yeah. My son just turned 10 last week, and the other one is turning 8 next month. So I'm trying to get used to this. I'm like, they're 7,
Oh,
9, 7. I know
wow.
they're 8 and 10, I guess. So yeah, 2 kids. It's right. Oh, I
Okay.
totally understand what you're saying. It is so true. Oh my goodness. And
Yeah.
this is interesting because now let me ask, I don't know, the market, much at all here in New York, let alone in Florida, but tell me about the trends or what's happening in Florida with real estate because all I know is here in New York, everything is just skyrocketed like through the roof. It's so hard to purchase a home. I fear for my kids and my nieces and nephews, like think the expense of homes. I mean, fill me in on what's happening in the market if you don't mind.
Oh, absolutely. So the markets that they're kind of booming essentially like New York and California, but they're just not in that high price yet. So number one market, of course, is Miami and Tampa and Orlando. But in Lakeland, Central Florida area, we're about 45 minutes from Orlando, 45 minutes from Tampa. It's a great, great, great area to live because
Hmm.
the affordability is there. You can still buy a beautiful, let's say, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 2 car garage home for under $400,000 without,
Yeah.
breaking the bank. But I know New York, yeah, I have family in New York, and I'm looking at what their prices and their stuff for, and I'm like, that's 3 flips I could do with
Yeah,
that. Are you
right?
kidding? Never. Plus, you guys have the snow.
I
Forget about it.
know.
I live there, never want to live there again. I love New York, but only to visit now, only to visit. So, yeah, our market is actually pretty good. It's pretty steady. I know in Florida, I live in Polk County, so Polk County, Polk. We are basically the number one in Florida to live at. We're the number
Oh,
one growing
wow.
because 30 years ago, Lakeland itself was just nothing but groves, orange groves. There was nothing here, but not Amazon. Rooms to Go came down. They're
Okay.
headquartered here. So then everybody else started coming through. We have Publix. Publix is like, I don't know if you guys have Publix in New York, do you?
No, we don't, but I know in Florida, yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah,
Yes.
so Publix is like the number one food chain company out there. They're the biggest, they're literally the best.
Ah,
And so they're headquartered down here too. So we have them, we have Amazon. Everyone's starting to move here because it's cheaper for them to reside and also cheaper for their workers too. So they can actually make a livable wage and honest living. So it's actually pretty cool. So if you guys want to move to Florida, come to Lakeland because It's beautiful. And like I said, it's like centrally located. So you can have all the fun and all the craziness when you want to, but you live in a calmer area. So we don't have the city life.
Wow, amazing. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, being this is our first show together, excited you're here and hope our listeners reach out. Do you offer an initial like a free consultation to speak with you, or how does the process work to get started, someone, and how do we find all your, the work that you're doing?
Okay, so you can find the work either on Instagram or Facebook. So majority of my properties, my projects are posted. I also even post them on TikTok too. So you get to see as I'm in the nitty gritty, as I'm buying the house, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, what are you going to do to that? It looks like a tear down." And then 2, 3 months later, they're like, "Wait a minute, there's no way that's the same house," but they're
Yeah.
actually able to see the process of me fixing it from the day that I bought it. I'm like, hey, just bought this house. It looks like a tear down, but we're gonna save it. We're gonna make it beautiful to the day that it's completely finished and it's listed on the market. I don't charge anything at all. The only thing that I would charge for is if you want me to teach you, because that does take some
Got it.
time. And I've had mentees in the past. Me and my late husband, we used to coach a lot of people on how to do it,
Yeah.
primarily one-on-one. It was definitely easier because he could handle the teaching, I could handle everything else every day to day. So now I'd have to take away from my day to day to teach.
Of
So
course.
there's definitely a charge for that, but no fee for a consultation. I take up to 1 to 2 hours, depending on how many questions I can
Okay.
answer out as best as I can. And if they cannot afford it, I say, listen, check this person on YouTube, or even check me and my late husband on YouTube. You'll be able to see some of the stuff that we've done. Just what's the word? Kind of apply what you learn, because if you don't apply it, it really does not matter. You can learn to be a surgeon, but until you actually go in and you start doing surgical procedures, your knowledge is literally nothing, unfortunately. You have to get
Yeah.
that practice in.
And what do what do you love the best about doing this work?
The best thing is
Mm-hmm.
actually the freedom. I can
Yeah.
I can do this from anywhere. If I want to go to vacation tomorrow, I can, and I can still check up on my contractors. Or if a seller needs to sell a home, I can still say, listen, I'm not in town, but the numbers look really, really good. So what I'm
Yeah.
going to do is I'm go ahead and send you the agreement. Go ahead and sign it. When I get back, I'll take a look at it to make sure the damages that we discuss is what it is, because
Yeah.
they're not going to know that, oh, hey, that roof is 30 years old, it needs to be replaced. They're assuming that it's in great shape, it's amazing, or that hole on the floor, that's trust issues, or that's subflooring issues. We have to
Yeah.
replace that. So I have to definitely confirm the numbers, but other than that, I can do this from anywhere, except for a boat, because their signal is terrible
Yes.
on cruise. I learned that. I'm like, oh my goodness. And you pay $400 for a week of internet on the cruise. It doesn't even really work. But other
Oh
than that,
my
as long as
goodness.
I have Wi-Fi, I can help anyone, and I can yell at my contractors by having someone sneak up and take a look and see what they're doing.
Well, now you
So
got
it's
all the connections and stuff. Now, how does that work with you? Because like, here you are. I don't know if I was like in your field or in real estate or on any aspect of it. I love looking at homes, and I'm online, and especially with Instagram and Facebook, you see all these beautiful homes and people remodeling. Like, you must see so many, like, you have so many ideas. Are you always remodeling your own space too? Or do you get the joy of doing it
so
for others? Because then I come
I
on.
get the joy. I get the
Mm-hmm.
joy of doing it for others. And honestly, if I was that person that's always remodeling my space, I would never be finished, because it's always like, oh, I wish I could do that. But I'm like, ah, don't do it. Because when I do sell it, it's going to add value to me, but it might not add value to you. So I have strict guidelines of what I do to every home. We have different levels. So let's say we have 3 tiers. We have tier one, which is for under $200,000. We go above basic. We make it look beautiful. Then, of course, we have tier two, where we start adding the granite countertops, the stainless steel appliance, the all wood. So that's up to 500,000, and $500,000 and above. That's when we have to do the quartz, and we have to do a lot more to it, like the recessive lightings. We, instead of doing the hang lighting, so
Yeah.
in the kitchen we do the open floor plan. So if there's a lot of walls, we do we widen it out, we
Got
add
it.
barriers to
Mm-hmm.
make it look beautiful. So we definitely have different tiers that we stick to, and it's easier for my contractors, so that
Yeah.
way they don't have to come like, what do you want done with this house? I'm like, hey, just do it like
You're
1, 2, 3, 4
like,
minutes. They're like, okay, great. same color, same everything, but make it look a little bit different. Or, oh, it's the same street. We got to color
I
the
was going to
exterior.
say, how often are you working in the same community, like the same street, the same?
It's far few in between, but 2016 and 17, we had 6 houses in the same street. So that was definitely a head scratcher of what to do to the outside, but we were able to do it. We were able to figure it out because I'm like, man, we can't make them all look exactly the same on the outside and the inside. So we kind of had to tweak it a little bit, but we still were able to make it like the same,
Beautiful.
but updated. But that was when we could sell a home for under a hundred
Yeah.
$100,000 because we
I
were buying
know.
for
I know.
35, fixing it for 60, selling for 135. Now, I always go back and look at mine and my late husband's work, and I've seen the houses, and now they're selling for 300, 400,000. I'm like, dang it, I wish I had just kept the house and held it. Are you
I
kidding?
know. It's insane. Well, I
And
appreciate you
they
being
didn't
here.
do
Excited.
anything to it.
Well, oh, I get it. Well, thank you so much for being here. One more time, tell us the Instagram page, how we can reach you. And unfortunately, we got to go. Fill us in.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It went so fast. Okay. Farah Gaston. Farah Gaston official on Instagram. Telephone number 863-450-5914. It has been a pleasure, Jill. Thank you so much for your time and thank you for having me. I had a ball.
Same here. And I got to find you on Facebook too. So I'm on the Instagram. And how do I find you on Facebook?
Same, Farah Gaston.
Perfect. And your website is under construction, I think, now, right? So we want to remind people, though, it will be up and running soon. Can't hurt to tell them that, obviously, when it is ready. What is the website?
It's jfdesignerhomes.com.
Perfect. And that's the name of the company. You could just Google her. Pleasure getting to know you and all
Yeah.
you do, and excited to speak again. And if we do speak again via Zoom like this, I would love if you can to share your screen so we can actually see some of these projects that you've worked on. And yeah, I love it. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
absolutely.
All right. You have a fantastic
Absolutely. I
day.
look forward to
Thank
it.
you so much, sweetheart.
Thank you, you too, Jill.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. You're welcome.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her?
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge?
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve! It's now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend?
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.